What's up, guys? It's Gary with Fresh from the Farm Fungi. I'm here in Denver, Colorado this morning, December 22nd, 2021, and there is some really exciting progress happening with the decriminalization movement here in Colorado. So, yesterday, Decriminalized Nature Colorado and SPORE co hosted a Mike Coalition mini town hall meeting. So I just wanted to kind of go over briefly what I gained from that meeting, some things to keep an eye out for the future, and where I think the decriminalization of plant and mushroom or fungi medicine is headed statewide. So the meeting started off with the host, Nicole Forrester. She's the director of Decrim Nature Boulder. So you can follow them on Instagram. Decrim Nature Boulder. They are the people that hosted this town hall, and essentially they're trying to start a grassroots movement for the complete decriminalization of psychedelic plants for medicine, which is really cool. So there's a statewide ballot initiative to decriminalize entheogenic plants and fungi statewide. There's also a company called Spore, which I think is just focused on psilocybin. So the topic of this town hall was, how do you narrow down a few different legislation for the ballot on November? So there was a couple people from Oregon. Larry, who's the co-founder of Decrim International since 2009, he talked about SB 519, which had some weird verbiage in the language, which limited the consumption and the storage of certain psychedelic substances that are, widely available in nature, like the peyote cactus, for example. So they talked a little bit about some of the problems in Oregon. So last year, or I guess 2 years ago now, Alex and Brian led led a coalition to get 109 bill on the ballot, and they faced some resistance from what they called a corporate takeover. So there is kind of a little debate about whether or not Decrim Nature should be funded by corporations or just as grassroots movement. So I think it's very important that everyone who's going to be involved in this industry get involved. Don't wait until it's already carved in stone, because right now is the chance to voice your opinion and spread the word. So after they talked about the Oregon, some of the problems with Bill 109, which it sounds like that was what gained a lot of traction 2 years ago, which did legalize psilocybin. Um, but anyway, that's not my expertise. So the focus of the conversation was with Nicole Forster, advocating for medicine. So Decriminalized Nature is trying to restore freedom of self-agency. So all of these substances are available in nature, and they should be accessible to use for therapeutic reasons. All right. So since the decriminalization of psilocybin in Denver, where I live, there has been no public health threats since May 2019, which means that people are being responsible for almost 2 years now, or over 2 years, people have been healing safely. So the next steps is how to hold the reins for statewide decriminalization. Basically, they broke it down to two options moving forward. So policy approaches um, can be broken down into, I guess, two options or three options if we take it one step and include all plant entheogens. But there's two options for psilocybin at the moment. And it sounds like both options could be on the ballot, and whichever received more votes would be the one that would be put into effect moving forward. So one option would be the therapeutic access model. So that is where an individual would have to be prescribed therapeutic access to some of these medicines. So the pros are that, it's really going to make things safer. It's going to almost put a check and balance on who will be using these substances following up after the fact. So very one-on-one based therapeutic model of decriminalization. There are some problems with that because licensed therapists could still be at risk for losing their license if they participate in this, which they're trying to work on the verbiage. The other approach will be a pure decriminalization model. So that's kind of what's in effect here in Denver, where psilocybin is the lowest priority for law enforcement. So they're taking that law enforcement away from the situation. There's some problems with that because there's not really any regulation as far as who should be receiving the medicine. There's no screens for patients that would be receiving the medicine. But with a therapeutic approach, there would be limitations set in place. So I think some kind of a hybrid model between both would be ideal. With pure decriminalization, there's not a limit on how much you can cultivate or how much you can have for personal use, which is really important. So cultivation, use, possession, at-home sharing, these are all verbiage that is going to be really critical on the ballot moving forward. So how do we incorporate sharing and gifting? Right now in Denver, that is kind of being skirted until that bill gets revised. So currently you can cultivate it, you can consume it, but you can't really distribute the mushrooms. So important verbiage moving forward. And then I guess the third thing that they talked about was including peyote, the cultivation of peyote, and that would include all plant entheogens. So therapeutic model, pure decriminalization model, and also all plant entheogens are what is being discussed. So if you'd like to join in on this discussion, you can follow the Decriminalized Nature Boulder Instagram and then reach out to Nicole. I believe she's going to be hosting more of these town halls in the future, and they're trying to gain some traction to get some sort of statewide decriminalization on the ballot for November 3rd. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Give us a thumbs up. Do your research. I'm not a lawyer or, any kind of, I'm just a guy on YouTube. So do your research and, join in the movement if you'd like to see change. And until next time, much love.